Well, thanks very much, Joe, and thanks. After I speak, we'll hear from Rear Admiral Jonathan Earley, who's taken responsibility for the defence response as well here in the National Situation Room. Millions of people are waiting for landfall on the mainland. We are well prepared. I do want to acknowledge the work that Queenslanders and Northern New South Wales residents have undertaken to be ready. They have responded to the requests, have prepared over recent days, and a shout out as well to the extraordinary work of the volunteers, police and emergency services, everyone involved at different levels of government, and of course the members of our Australian Defence Force. I do want to acknowledge as well that many of the people who are providing support, including ADF personnel, have themselves family and close friends who are directly in the path of this extreme weather event. Right now, very clearly, we need to stick together and continue to look after each other. The impacts are already being felt, and there is worse to come in the hours ahead. We must remain vigilant. This is a very serious weather event. Please do not go outside if that is at your location, the advice which is there. Stay out of floodwaters. Do not risk it. These winds are dangerous as well, and be conscious of the fact that debris can fall and can cause serious harm. We've done the preparation with you and we'll be with you through this. That's the message of my government. We have your back, and we have it in partnership with the different levels of government, with civil society that we're working through, but with all of you as well, who are working so hard to protect your families, your local communities, and to get through this. At the worst of times, we are seeing once again the best of the Australian character. We continue to see that in both Queensland and Northern New South Wales. Just some key facts to run through. Ex-tropical Cyclone Alfred crossed the Moreton Bay Islands in the early hours of this morning as a Category 1 cyclone. Ex-tropical Cyclone Alfred has been downgraded to a tropical low and is sitting off the coast. Latest modelling indicates it will cross the mainland over the next few hours. Now, while it has been downgraded, very serious risks remain. So it is important that people do not take this downgrading as a reason for complacency. Its impact will be serious and will intensify over coming hours and indeed over coming days. It will still bring strong winds, heavy rain, flooding and dangerous conditions across southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales over this weekend and in the days beyond. Now is the time to remain alert, stay inside and look after each other. Remain safe in your home unless you've been advised to evacuate. Look after your children. Flooding is our major concern, particularly in that area in the southern part of Queensland and in northern New South Wales. We have grave concerns for a man missing in floodwaters. Police are doing an incredible job continuing that search. The advice remains, if it's flooded, forget it. If it's flooded, forget it. We can't emphasise that too much. There are a number of areas across Queensland and New South Wales where people are being asked to evacuate. It's important that if the SES advise you to evacuate by a certain time, you do so. To not do so means a doubling up of personnel and indeed presents a risk to those people trying to assist people in these regions. Defence Force personnel are on the ground and have been assisting in preparation. Aerial assets are on standby to assist with 2 light utility helicopters to support recovery in Queensland, as well as assets in Coffs Harbour and Bundaberg. Please continue to stay up to date with the latest advice via the Disaster QLD website, the New South Wales SES website, the BOM Bureau of Meteorology website, and through your local ABC radio station. We know that there are reports of significant power outages with more than 250,000 homes without power. 6 generators are being loaded and are now on their way from the national stockpile to Lismore via road. So that will take time to get these generators there. There are also mobile and telecommunications outages across Queensland and New South Wales. At the moment, the advice is there are several communities with no access because of power outages. State emergency services are aware and are working urgently with energy companies and telcos to restore services. Many of Service Australia's centres in Queensland and New South Wales are closed, but people can complete their business online or by calling their regular payment line. Be prepared and download and set up the MyGov app on your mobile device. The government, of course, stands ready to activate disaster payments for both South East Queensland and New South Wales, and I saw firsthand in the visit to the services headquarters here in Tuggeranong yesterday that was the case. We will continue to do everything that we can to provide assistance at what is a very difficult time for people in these communities. That will include not just physical support, but quite clearly there will be, I think, a lasting mental health issues as a result of this. Some of these communities have copped it time and time again, and that just makes it so tough for people who've rebuilt, recovered, and then find another wave of trauma heading their way along with the cyclone. So I say that please stay vigilant over the coming period. We will do what we can as a government, and I thank the ongoing liaison that's occurring between my government, the Crisafulli government and the Minns government, as well as local mayors on the ground who are doing what we can. And I certainly thank the Australian Defence Force